And it's crazy to me. That was crazy to me. And I'm sorry that all of this even happened because I'm a grandmother and I know she's going to miss her grandkids once all of this do come ahead. Go ahead, next.
Um, I think that this is a very nuanced situation. Good morning, guys. I think that what did we really expect for FWA to do if her 8-month pregnant daughter called her and gave her the story that was given to her? Anybody would have pulled up. Well, from what I hear from Miss Ty, everybody don't play about their kids. They don't play about their family. They putting up on people. They put in BTA. Now FWA pull up and put BTA, and not everybody's surprised. Not everybody would have dragged FWA. I'm not understanding. Now I will say that the child should not have been in the car with FWA. I don't agree that she shouldn't have took her husband because that's a husband. Why wouldn't her husband? I don't really agree with that. If the daughter, not really sure how true the story is, was physically assaulted by her father as an adult and 8 months pregnant, why wouldn't she be cussing him out? I guess I'm a little bit confused on that one.
So before you go any further, Brass, I would just like to ask the panel and the audience, at any time in the clip, did we hear the child in question mention that the father put his hands on her during the live that she had at his house?
No,
Not one time.
absolutely
Not one time.
not. No.
You may continue, Brass.
Yes. So I just think that FWA went over there, and no, she didn't call the police. We all understand that that was not a smart thing to do, but she went over there in Mama Bear mode thinking that she was defending her daughter. I think that she's going to have to do some type of time. And I think that that's very unfortunate. But as far as the court of public opinion, I don't really feel like FWA was really wrong or should have been dragged. I feel like she went over there with the intention of protecting her daughter. I agree that there is elder abuse occurring and also that there is child abuse occurring. And that's it. And I don't care if y'all mad.
Okay. I made sure to write down exactly what was said from the child in question. She said, "Ain't nobody scared of you." She also said, "You don't scare nobody." Quote,
Aggressor. The daughter's the aggressor.
My turn.
Yeah.
I just feel like friends with attitude should have never got on the internet telling up all her business. I feel like the daughter was dead wrong for lying, especially knowing how her mama is. And I feel like the daughter should be locked up for lying, 8 months or pregnant or not, but
Good morning, y'all. I agree with everybody that's on the panel. It's a sad situation, and the real victims in the situation is the grandpa and the kids. I also feel like the daughter knew how her mom would react, and she provoked it. She poked and lied and got that reaction out of her mother. And that is why her daddy got almost unalive, because of her actions.
So I want to say this, right? Because I listened to the story from the very beginning up until that video. The daughter, she's angry. She's very angry. Why she's angry, we don't know. This is a case of guilty parenting. Because if you listen to what the daughter said, I was raised by my grandparents, right? So now I know my mom is trying to make it right with me. So now let me use what I can
Facts.
to what I need,
Yep.
right? So if I call my mom if I call my mother at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, by the time she get here, she will analyze the situation. She's not gonna squeeze first and ask questions last, right? Also, The daughter contradicted herself. When she was on Miss Nitra panel, she said she was living with her father since she was 18. Then in the video, she said, I've been on my own. I just needed to stay here for a month for the furnace and whatever, the hot water.
Write it down, Bella. Write it down.
Yeah.
So I think this is a case of guilty parenting. I'm going to pop for you because I wasn't there for you. That's all.
Clock it. Clock it. Is it my turn now?
Yep, thank you for your patience, Drag Queen. What did you want to ask or add?
Okay, thank you. Hey, everybody. I do agree with Tattletale. Everything she said. And Tattletale actually answered. I thought it was Sadari. I didn't want to call no names. I thought that was your voice. I didn't want to call no names though and call you out. But I agree with everything you said because you asked the question, then you answered it. The child is angry because she wasn't raised by neither of her parents. She was raised by her grandparents. So that's why she was angry. She said, I'm going to show you who my grandparents raised. So even though she was raised with her grandparent, she still have the nature of her mother. And she's lashing out at everybody. Because to me, the man that I saw in the video, he's the victim. That man was calm and trying to de-escalate everything, but she continued to antagonize that man. And he held some restraint, baby, because if my child ever think she gonna be in my house talking to me like that, oh no, baby, we gonna have a problem. So he did her a very bare minimum by throwing her shit outside, if that's what he did. When I was scrolling the young girl's page, I did notice that she said somebody hit her. And from what I gather, she was accusing the father of hitting her maybe 5 days ago. But if that's the case, why didn't FWA go defend her child when he actually put hands on her 5 days ago? If you're going to do something, why would you spend $20,000 on a lawyer when you could have spent $300-400 to get the furnace and whatever else needed to be fixed in the house? So now we're here. So I actually think she was being a crash dummy and not using the emotional intelligence. Because like Sadari said, she's trying to make up for everything that she didn't do for the child in that child's life. That child is very angry. But I mean, my children tell me, but at a certain age, you can't take out what you dealt with in your childhood on your parents. It's time to grow up because you're a child and also a mother. So you can't continue to blame your parents. You have to take responsibility for your own life. So I agree with everything Sadari said. That pew pew that man got in the back was just to stand up for her daughter to say, look, I'm a mother. No, you was being a fool. You was being the same fool you was when you didn't raise your child. You was a fool then and you a fool now. Because now you finna have to pay so much more. Why can we ask the question of why the daughter didn't go stay with FWA since FWA is this capping mama? Why she
Or go
didn't go
stay with her baby daddy.
Clock
Go stay
in
with her
and
baby
yep, that
daddy.
too.
Her
She
baby daddy
pregnant. Go stay
probably
with
not
the baby
around.
daddy.
Her baby
But
daddy
then y'all
probably
hear
not
Home.
around and
FWA
being
say
friends
you
with
can
other
always come
kids.
home. You know you can always come home. You know you can always stay here. And the daughter kind of paused like, are you capping
Yeah.
for your life?
But
And then
yeah,
she just
because
had to keep on asking her again.
look at
You
this.
know you can come home.
To the young lady who was talking about kind of defending FWA, why would a good mother, send her child to a home that doesn't have water, doesn't have a tub, having cracks and all of these other things? Why would a good mother that you pretending that she was because she popped somebody in the back? Good mothers don't pop people in the back. Good mama's gonna go there and ask questions and then maybe check some bitches later. But they not
Facts.
gonna just go there capping in the back. Because there's penalties to pay from shooting
I definitely wouldn't have
hitting somebody in the
went
back.
live. I definitely wouldn't have went live and cleared up. So y'all, a furnace is for hot water, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so she could have stayed her ass at home because she said that that's the only thing that she was waiting on for her new home is for the furnace to be there. Now you just said that your daddy and your papa house, you don't have any hot water. You don't have none at home either. So she could have stayed at home. So that's my thing. What did you go over there for? You went over there to start, you are confusion. And then that's not her first time doing that because the grandpa was sitting there and kept on saying, don't put me in it. Don't put me in it. That's not his first time hearing them go back and forth, argue like that.
She said something about
She
the
is her
last 2
mother's
months you
child.
ain't pay no rent or something.
And
Or you ain't
also,
gave the last 2 months.
But the
and then talking about the
aggressor
house
is the
nasty, but
daughter.
you been there for 30 days. You could have started cleaning up.
Exactly.
What you waiting on? You a woman?
Clean up.
Also,
You walking around on that dirty floor with no shoes on. You just as nasty.
With your children there. With your
I also
Right.
want
children
to point
there.
out. I also want to point out the kids are probably used to this behavior because there was no crying in the background or none of that. They knew
Nothing.
they were scared to even open their mouths.
Yeah, cause friends probably always screaming at them, trying to make it seem like she grandma and mama of the year. Girl, no, you ain't raised that little girl since she was little. That girl probably has abandonment issues and all types of stuff. The way that little girl was talking to her, I don't even think that she respects friends as her mom for real, for real. And I think that's part of the issue. She went over there starting stuff because she wanted her mama to be in jail. She want her mama to pay for the fact of, bitch, you ain't been around this whole time. Excuse me for cussing.
I agree. That's why I said this is a case of guilty parenting.
Yep,
And
and
I'm
it's more like, how can you sit over here and tell me to be a child and listen to you when you ain't raised me my whole life? You don't do nothing for me. So who is you?
and I want to get back to FWA and her, even at her age, her poor decision making. You say you have all these businesses, you have a husband, you have two other young children that you also have to be responsible for. Like for her to think to solve this situation is to go there with the pew pew. You have time when you're driving over there to think about what you're going to do. Instead of thinking of solving the problem with words, you go over there with the pew pew, not thinking about your own life, the people who are in the car with you, and the people pulling out the pew pew from the car because they impounded her car. That could have hit a neighbor, that could have hit the grandfather, anybody else in that car.
One of the children.
Yep, one of her grandchildren. There's so many things could happen from that one decision. As mothers, we have to think in a whole big circle about how our decisions affect other people.
Right.
And it's not about, am I going to pay my light bill versus am I going to go and buy this pair of boots? This is something very, very serious. And she wasn't thinking. We have to breathe and take a beat when we're making decisions, especially something serious as this. Instead of going there and talking to her ex and seeing what's going on. You know what I mean? That's what should have been done. Especially y'all, some of y'all may not know, this was at 3 a.m. Not at 7 o'clock in the evening, 3 o'clock in the morning. She's walking around screaming like that and going off and cursing. That's
When the kids should have been in the bed. Them kids should have been
yes,
in the bed.
absolutely ridiculous. And then to go with the camera and showing your father, like y'all said, this ain't the first time this has
That
happened.
cat should have been asleep too. That cat coming in and out that house
The
like
cat
that.
and the dog too. They had the dog running around too. Cat
Girl,
and the dog.
My thing was, why would you tell TikTok that you did all of that, especially messy TikTok? You know people don't like you over here. We can't stand your ass. And you sat over there and just did all of that just so you could go back to jail tomorrow. That's sad.
And then she kept saying, y'all have to remember, this is the man who used to beat my ass 20 something years ago. Oh, so were you waiting for your get back? Was this the perfect time for
oh
you to get
yeah.
him back? But that's why I said she said way too much. Shut up.
Also,
Because if you still carrying something from 20 years ago, it's not looking good.
if he used to beat your ass 27 years ago, why you allowed your grown pregnant daughter and your grandchildren to go over there?
Exactly.
That
At
speaks
a certain
volumes
point,
about you.
at a certain point in time, we must hold our adult children to be accountable as well, and we must be accountable for our actions.
Right. Right.
And to the end of it all, we would have never known if she had not brought it here. She didn't have to say one thing about it. People maybe in Detroit would have known that it was her, but it may not have gotten here and gotten to this magnitude. You know, when bring stuff here, people go to find out every little crumb about it. You brought it here and you told all of us, so this is what happened. Then you're mad at us, just like the daughter. You went live about it, and then this is what happens.
And also, she didn't get caught till days later. So somebody was talking. Somebody had to tell the cops who the suspect was.
And it seemed like the father is doing okay because I seen a post from him, thanking God that he was doing okay. Then he shared the clip with the story, the newscast and was like, damn, I made it to the news. Like, but he's on the post talking.
He's at home,
But
right?
what if he wasn't okay? What if he got paralyzed?
So one moment.
Right.
Hold that thought. Because somebody just sent the facts to the court. And the question is, can FWA husband also be charged as an accessory?
If he was the getaway driver.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I thought she was the one doing the driving and stuff.
If
No,
anybody, her daughter
So
should
let's
be.
talk about this. You take your husband with you to go approach a situation about your daughter, and your husband don't get out to talk to your kid's father, man to man. Couldn't all of this been avoided if the two men could have had a conversation? Could this
Yeah.
not wait until the morning where it was light outside? Okay, or can I just send you an Uber and we'll deal with this once the situation is calm?
Exactly. Her husband should have told her, sit your ass right here. We calling the police.
but
Sometimes a man got to learn how to be a man and tell
yeah,
her, no,
but
we're not doing
Stayed
that at 3
home.
o'clock
it
in the
depends
morning.
on the
Could have
type of
stayed
marriage
home.
they have.
She could have stayed
Oh,
home
she
with the
run it.
minor child, and he could have just went to go pick up the pregnant daughter and the grandkids.
But you see the type of personality she has, the type of person she is. She's very strong-willed. She seems like she may be domineering over him. To me, it seems like he's a living hostage. So, you know what I mean? You all know how she is. She might tell him, "You gonna drive me over there?" Y'all see how loud and how she is, and he's like, "Let me go before she pew pew me." Especially when it comes to her kids.
She didn't have to tell them, officer. She told me she was going to use the pew pew on me if I ain't dry, because I can't go down for you, baby.
Facts, Brett.
I mean,
Okay.
if she's listening, I just want to tell her, if friends, if I call her friends, if you're listening, I wanted you to think one thing. Please think about one thing before you use Lala. And Lala, I have nothing against you, but before you use her as a character witness on what we heard on yesterday, that she's being used as your character witness, think about that. This is your life you're talking about. We can't change anything that doesn't happen, but think about that before you do that. Go ahead, Bella.
I'm
Right,
glad
Auntie
you
Tracy.
mentioned
That was
that.
great.
I'm glad you mentioned that because unfortunately, in this type of situation, it is very important of who you have around you. They're either going to pull you away from the clip or help push you over. In this particular case, we are literally watching the people around her push her over the cliff and even said, "Oh, glad you're back. We had nowhere to go." I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but everybody, and I mean everybody, no one is exempt. If no one has privately hit your phone and said, "Hey man, listen, you fucking up," everybody around her is part of the problem. Y'all worrying about somewhere to go as far as a platform. What platform when she's sitting behind bars? Y'all are literally worried about the wrong shit. Because while she's sitting behind bars facing her reality, y'all gonna be on this app floating around seeing who y'all can sit up under next if it ain't already a troll page. So respectfully, I wrote everything down that I heard. The creator says no one knew. That is a fact. We didn't know. A lot of us do not live over in Michigan. We didn't hear the news. Okay? That creator brought it here. The creator's child, who admits is 26 years old, said that she made the live public for the world to see. We're part of the world. We seen it. We heard it. Now we're talking about it. Says that her dad never did nothing for her while living in his home, so that way her home can be situated. said in the audio, I'm about to tear his house up. Said that my grandparents raised me. This is what the creator child says. Says that the house has bugs, no food, and is not clean while living there. Made it clear, ain't nobody scared of you. This is what the creator child said. Acknowledges that there was no hot water, no working sink. I have a space available for a juror. The father asked her to leave by repeatedly saying bye. The child says, you don't scare nobody. The child said there was no food in the fridge. She's going to leave it the way she seen it. Stated that she was waiting for the police. Told whoever she was on the phone with, I'm in here tearing his shit up. Said that her father put her clothes outside. And even greeted the live by saying, welcome to the blank show. I won't say her name. But she stated she never threatened her father. She acknowledges that she is 9 months pregnant and said that she is scheduled to deliver the child in 3 weeks. She acknowledges that the altercation that took place, she says it went too far. She says that they had altercation for years. The child said that she'd been with him since she was 18. But the unfortunate side to hearing that, she stated in the clip that she was only with him for a month. There was many things that the creator that is involved, the things that she said did not match up to what was heard in the audio. Now, they said that there was a police call. I do not have proof of that police call just yet. But I do have questions, since we are speaking to the facts and the facts only. One of my questions is, did the daughter ever call the police to begin with? Was the police ever called by the daughter in question? Jury?
No.
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 But this is the product of poor parenting. Like, this is literally the product. When moms don't be parents to their daughters, this is what happens. You create a hole in their heart that's unfixable.
I can't say if she called the police or not, but I can say that they didn't show up. Why they didn't show up will be a very interesting question of if she called them and why they didn't show up. Because had they been there, this wouldn't have went that far.
But if friends would have just chilled, like, she could have, the whole ride there, she could have just been on the phone with her daughter, just questioning her, like, come on now, like, is you telling the truth or is you just sitting over here acting out? Because if I got to come over here and it's some BS, I'm getting on your ass. That's all she had to do, instead of just doing the most like she always does.
But when you have a hyperbolic mother and a hyperbolic child, this is what you get. The daughter is yelling and screaming like that, and if the mother is feeding into it and they're both yelling and screaming, this is what you get.
But can we also agree that for that young woman to be cursing out her father and cursing violently in front of her grandfather and probably her mother on the phone, that this is not her first time? This is not her first time. You know how much it'll take for me to start cursing in front of my grandmother? and cursing out my father. So this is not the first time she's lashed out or conducted herself in this manner.
She's probably been doing this since she's a little girl. Like
I'll get at
that's
least a teenager. At least to say the things that she said to her father, who she said she's been with most of her life, I guess until she was 18 or whatever she said, to do that to him when he's taking her in, something is not right. She needs therapy. She has to have therapy because she has some animosity towards her parents for not being there for her.
yeah, her parents failed her. What the heck? Her parents literally failed her. And I do believe that she do need therapy because if she don't, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. And when that kid get here, hopefully she just make different decisions better than what friends did. Because this is unbelievable.
Well, this not gonna be her first time being a mom. She has 2 other children, so
Wait,
good
who?
luck with this. Yeah,
This ain't her first child.
And she got 2 kids.
she got 2 kids. The 2 kids was sitting on the couch. One was sitting on the couch.
Scared to
One was
open
sitting
their
in Pawpaw's
mouth.
lap,
Yeah,
And that
and
makes it
they
worse.
were terrified.
yeah,
That's
those,
why she said, "Just don't show my kids." Those babies were looking terrified.
So she's
Mm-hmm.
in a cycle of trauma in her children. She's
Yep,
Cycle of abuse.
yep.
emotional. But look what Friends said. I did hear Friends say. Friends didn't say in her life that that man had hit her, his daughter. She said that what was happening in the house at that time was emotional abuse to her daughter. No, ma'am, your daughter was emotionally abusing everybody in that house, from her daddy, grandkids, and her own kids.
In the morning.
Absolutely,
He was the one
absolutely.
Agreed.
emotionally abusing everybody. Hell, I
She was
felt
talking to him like that was her baby daddy. I said, "This can't be
exactly.
her real daddy." I thought it was the baby daddy.
Right.
Mm-mm.
You BAN. I was like, oh my, I just couldn't fix my mouth to talk to my daddy like that.
Never.
You fighting over a grill, like she said down there, but no food in the house. It had to be something.
And she always told me she was cooking. How you washing the meat? I was just so many questions. Like
How
And
you
you
using
had
a
so
washing
much
your
grill.
stuff
You
going on,
fighting
hands?
but you
over a
just as
grill.
nasty.
I thought I heard her said that there's no tub, not there's no sink. I thought I heard her say that
no,
there's no tub.
no. She said there was.
Yep.
She did say something about there was no. She put. I
Working
forget
sink.
exactly how. Yeah, no working sink.
Okay, I thought she said no hot water and no tub. I can be wrong. I'm gonna go back.
KQL. Okay.
Mm.
Y'all are doing great. We are almost at 500K taps. Y'all are doing wonderful. Let's continue to engage. All right. So, do y'all think that there was some type of elder abuse that took place?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because that actually is the grandfather's house. Did y'all catch that?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
did.
That's the grandfather's house. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was elderly abuse. You doing all of this in my house? Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
And when they were discussing the income, it seemed like the grandfather's paying for everything.
And
When
it's
they started,
everyone.
Of the house is elder abuse, like the condition of what he is living in is elder abuse. I'm not really sure his condition and whether or not he's able to move around and stuff as an older person, but the condition of the house, being filthy, under construction and no water and stuff, that is
hot
also abuse.
pockets. Mm-mm.
I feel like they took over his house, and I feel like even then
Mm-hmm.
that's some type of elder abuse. Because why'd you take it over that man's house, and why don't y'all have your own places to stay? Y'all are too old.
That's financial abuse as well.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, they said that the home address is on the 911 call, so I won't be playing it. Just so we're
Yeah,
clear
the
on that.
home address, the father's real name. Yeah, they say all of that on the 911 call.
Thank you. I'm quite sure we heard enough. All right. As far as, because you said case of guilty parenting, did the daughter know her mom would be upset when she called, and that's why she called her?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yes, I feel like she knew her mom was gonna react.
Any
Yeah,
mama
she knew
would.
it.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Timing is everything.
she
but
knew it.
the mama should have had some wisdom and not just go off the
Of
response
course.
of a child that has some type of emotional issues herself. She should have called the father and spoke to him as an adult and got to understand, at least got his perspective of what was going on. I never just listened to what my children say, but my children wouldn't call me cussing and cussing their daddy out. If they did, I would have stopped that then. I would never allow my children to cuss at me about their father. The way she speaks in front of her mother is disgusting.
May I ask another question, please? Due to the history that the creator stated happened to her over 20 years ago, would you allow your child and grandchildren to live with a man that you stated abused you?
Absolutely not.
And no.
Well,
No, that'll be a no for me.
but this is the thing.
Bella, they say the daughter is in the comments.
Yeah, type it in all caps.
And say her daughter is in the comments. That's fine, sweetheart. You can be there.
Ma'am, are you here? I'm not sure how you got here. However, I am well aware that you have spoke to this situation. I will inform you that just because we are discussing this as a case does not mean you are required to speak. Do anyone know which page is hers?
If I'm gonna assume y'all interfere with her girl, that's the only person typing in all caps.
Yeah, they're looking. They said they're looking for it now.
Okay. So, however, welcome to the show.
With as far as the abuse goes, Bella, it's and okay, because I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it. Because the father, we don't know what the level of abuse was. Not that any abuse, not saying that there's good abuse or bad abuse, but we don't know what went on between her and between FWA and the dad, if that trickles down to the young lady. So she said she moved with the father to get to know the father once she turned 18. So we don't know what happened after 18. And then for her to go back, like she said, to live with the father now since her house wasn't ready, like she's an adult. She made that decision. So we don't know, you know what I mean? She's an adult.
Right. I agree. I mean,
And she made that decision. She's 26 years old.
Let me just say
Correct.
this.
So, speaking of decisions, once she was able to be out on her own, because it was said in the audio that her grandparents raised her, correct? With that said, I want to know your thoughts. Why would she then go live with the father who has a jacket of abuse, according to the mother? Why go live with the father instead of her loving, nurturing, caring mother?
It's like when kids get adopted, why would they want to go back to their real parent if they know that their parent gave them up? It's kind of one of those things. Like, she's always going to long for her parents because her parents didn't raise her. She never had that relationship. So as a child, she's going to want that relationship. She's going to want to build that bond. And I don't think, like, she thought that it would just be all that extra stuff, but I do believe she wanted to see her dad or maybe build a bond with him, probably.
But allegedly,
well, Bella is saying, why did she choose to go to her dad's house and not her mom's house?
What
the
I
reason
heard
why
through
is
the
because her
TikTok-
and her mama are just alike.
That's the lie.
What
That's
I heard
why.
through the TikTok streets,
They can't
is
live under the same roof.
allegedly, so does the mom have the. And again, this is allegedly. This is what I heard through the TikTok streets. Allegedly, the mom also has the abuse jacket. Allegedly, I don't know.
I heard that too.
There's no alleged. That's in print on the court website.
It's gonna be alleged for me.
Okay,
I'm gonna make sure I'm protecting myself.
I got you.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So.
But if she stayed with the dad before, and she did not say in her spiel, "Oh, you've always treated me this well. You always abused me." She never gave a bad history of what they had previously. Her only problem was how he reacted to her about that barbecue pit. So it's fair to say that he was a good dad to her in their past experience, because she didn't bring that up like she was bringing up.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She said you ain't never been shit to me.
And
You ain't
I
never
let me
did shit for
let's
me.
go
Okay,
back.
if you
Yes, she
allow me to
did.
finish, she may have said that you've never been shit, but she never said you put your hands on me or you did this to me or you did that to me. She never said any of that.
No, can I elaborate on that?
Yes,
She
yes.
said, "Ain't nobody scared of you," and she also said, "You don't scare nobody." So you are spot on with that part, drop queen.
Right. So
But
she
she did
says
make it clear.
right,
She says her dad never did nothing for her. She also said that.
right.
While
But let's be clear. Let's be clear right here now. Since the incident, she now has remorse. She has shown remorse that it happened for her father.
I'm glad you pointed that out. So she did say that the situation went too far.
Far, exactly.
However, the mother in question has no remorse.
Right,
And if we
exactly.
heard in the clip, warned other people
That it will happen to them.
that it would happen to them.
I
Okay?
feel
Correct.
I feel like friends don't got no remorse because she feel like she was protecting her child at the end of the day. And I feel like that's part of the issue. And her daughter really owes her an apology, whether she's been there in her life or not, because now you're finna get this lady locked up possibly for the rest of her life because your ass want to sit over there and play because you're mad.
I
I'm too old for that.
mean, but also at the same time, friends with attitude is not helping herself not get locked up, especially if she's gonna come on here and tell other people that it's gonna happen to them. Like,
Facts.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a question right quick? How was that protecting your child when there was no active threat? The only threat was your child. So
It
how
was.
was that protecting your child? If you really wanted to protect your child, you would have suggested that your child come live with you or get out of the, dynamics of that relationship. But if there's no active threat, you're not protecting your child.
Or just wait outside until I get there, baby girl. I'm on my way. I'm coming to get you. Wait outside until I get there.
I mean, I understand what y'all saying, but we only saying that because we're thinking logically. Look at who we're dealing with. She doesn't think logical at all. She's very impulsive. So with her calling her like that, it's like, oh, I gotta go get my child, basically. Or maybe it's some hidden animosity. I don't know.
Okay. Now, speaking of animosity, based on the interaction with the child, y'all said something that stood out to me. Because the creator husband went with her when the altercation happened. Do you think that the reason why the child behaved the way that she does is because she seen that her mother has no respect for men? She dominates the men, belittles the men, and make them feel like they have no say-so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
cycle of abuse.
yeah,
I can't. I can't say
I
that.
will definitely elaborate on my I will definitely elaborate on my question. So the reason for my question is because listening to the audio, did the child, who is 26 years old, grown adult, might I add, did she show any respect for the men in the house at all?
No.
None.
No.
None.
None whatsoever.
I don't think
None.
it has anything to do with her mother. I just think that's a cycle that's created when a child doesn't feel protected. When a child doesn't feel protected and have to protect themselves, she'll lash out like that to men. She won't have respect for men or women. She's just going to protect herself.
No.
And that's why I think, Mocha, can I ever finish a statement?
Speed it. Could you speed it up?
Don't y'all start. Don't y'all start.
I
We
can't.
doing
Every time
good.
I
Don't
start
y'all
talking,
start.
We were doing so well.
Speed it up.
just be for real. Every time I start talking, here come
But
everybody
just say
else.
what you gotta say.
Well, shut the fuck up and then I will.
Make me.
Oh
Make
my.
me.
Try,
Make me.
y'all. Come on,
We're
come
not
on,
losing
come
the
on,
panel.
come
Slow
on.
down. We're doing good.
You're doing good.
Okay.
So in a book that I read called The Boy Crisis, it talks about how when children don't feel protected, they carry pew-pews. That's why we see these little boys getting in gangs and carrying pew-pews, because they never had that masculine energy in their lives to make them feel like they have been protected and provided for. So since she's never had that dynamic, that's why she lashes out. at everybody and tries to play the man in her own life.
Yeah,
The baby
also,
daddy definitely ain't there. That she already said the daddy ain't been there. So what man in her life is protecting her? None. She's her own man. So she protects herself from men and women.
So
and when
one
you
moment
raise
though,
like,
she said the grandparents or whatever. The point that I'm making is mom nor dad, according to her words, raised her. And once she had the opportunity to get out on her own, she chose dad, not mom.
And she also stated that her grandfather helps her with the kids, not her dad, not her parent.
Okay. So, with knowing that information, y'all don't see a problem in that. You cannot sit here and say that this man does nothing for you and then turn around and lived in his home. You cannot say that you feel remorseful, but the reality is the picture was painted. It was painted in a way like this man was just flat out dogging your ass, tearing you a whole new one, according to the way it was delivered to the mother, apparently. And even on that call, from what we see, he's putting my shit out, he's doing this, he's doing that. I did not show the clip, but y'all can hear in the clip, she's pacing back and forth, grabbing things. She's verbally saying she's taking things out of the refrigerator. She's packing. So for those who do have the vloggers, go watch the clip. She's grabbing her shit. But the way it was delivered to the mom, like, oh, he mad because I wanted to use the grill, so he's putting my stuff out. I'm about to tear his shit up because he's putting me out. I'm going to tear up his home because he's asking me to leave his home. Let me say it again. Let's process what we heard. I'm going to tear up the home that she claimed he don't have. He don't have nothing. I'm going to tear this up knowing that her grandfather lives in that home. And if it's the grandfather home, that's even worse. I'm going to take my frustrations out on my grandfather's home. Let's process the facts, not the feelings. I'm going to tear up my grandfather's home because I'm pissed off with my dad. I'm going to need bail money. My stuff is being put out because I wanted to use the grill. I'm going to need bail money. That sounds remorseful to you? But if that's not insult to injury, because mind you, I'm only speaking to what happened that night. The creator disappears off the app. Let me ask a question to the audience that know who this creator is. Did y'all notice that the creator was missing off the app? Red, yes. Blue, no. We are not voting. Continue to engage. We are almost at 600 taps. Did y'all notice that that creator was missing off the app? Wasn't around, did y'all notice? Okay, numbers is looking pretty high today. Thank you. For those who are watching, you know what time it is. Hit that follow button if you are not already following. I am Bella Leone. This is the Accountability Court. We are here every Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, discussing cases that happen and is brought on TikTok. Okay? Thank y'all for grabbing those daily heart means. We have a lot of people watching. If we can get 600 more people to at least get us to 2K in the community, that'll be great. If 600 new people can grab your heart me, if you haven't grabbed one, the majority, literally the majority ruled. Houston, we have a problem. Once the situation happened, that creator came to this app. Towards the end of the clip, for those who was here in the beginning listening to the audio, she said, y'all don't want to be part of the FAO group. Does that sound like someone that's remorseful? Do that sound like someone who is concerned that their bond may be revoked? That they may be facing hard time? On the ride to get her child, to remove her from the situation, did that creator have time to think while the husband is in the vehicle and allegedly a child was there too? Thank y'all. So, oh, the gifts is beautiful, y'all. Y'all doing amazing. Thank y'all so much. And I see that we definitely are doing a great job. I see that we are pushing the likes. Thank you so much. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you like this shit. Like,
It's a sad situation.
it is. Like, keep in mind, my family is in this live watching, specifically my son, because I need him to understand that it's the things that you put your parents through, that you involve your parents in. Don't take a moment where you upset with your mom or your dad and you cause them to make a decision that they can't fix. There's no amount of prayers, nothing that can change the situation, turn back the hands of time. They are in this live, listening and watching for everything. But mainly my son, because I'll be damned if I make a move because he like, oh yeah, I know my mom, she's irrational, she gonna do this, she gonna do that, and then boom. Are you able to protect your children behind bars?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Let me take it a step further, because that child is grown. For the younger children that the creator has, God forbid the husband face charges too and have to go to jail simply because allegedly he took her over there. Allegedly. What's supposed to happen to the other children?
Gotta with the system. They finna be with the grandparents too.
Or they have to go with her daughter. Mm-hmm.
But so now we getting somewhere. So maybe those children would then have to go live with the grandfather, right?
But is that fair? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh no, it's different than that, because let me go back to we only sticking to what was said according to her words. Hold on. According to the child words, and this is why again I gotta give credit where it's due. When Nosy tried to warn her and say, "Hey, you worry about the wrong shit." When Nitra tried to say, "Hey, look, shouldn't be talking." According to the child, she specifically says there is roaches. There's no food. The home is not clean. So now they like, well, shit, we can't send the children to go live with the grandfather because the grandfather is living in conditions that the children cannot be a part of. Right or wrong?
Right.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Think before y'all get on this app and speak. When you're trying to go out your way and make people look bad and fucked up, your words can always turn back around on you. Literally.
Have power.
Power of the
Words
tongue.
have power.
The power of the tongue.
Yep.
It's so many unfortunate factors that was said. I'm still kind of harping on the fact that the mom says, "Oh, I dealt with physical abuse X amount of years," but then the child goes and lives with him, and then it's claimed that abuse happened. So now, if that, let's say that is the case, y'all literally hand delivering a case over to CPS, because then you're verbally saying, "Oh well, no, I was abused." So now they're saying that the children is in a home where they could be in danger. Nobody's thinking about what they're saying because we're too busy focusing on trying to make the other parent look bad.
Bella, also she's putting her own children at risk, the young lady, because she said her own children are living in a home where there's no working sink, no hot water, and even in her own home there's no furnace and no hot water heater or whatever over there.
While all of this is going on, right? Red pill, y'all are in here. So y'all should know what my next question is, right? Because we love directing the attention to the women. Anybody that knows red pill rhetoric, what question do y'all think I'm going to ask? Where was who?
Baby, they
Where BD?
Daddy
Where
at?
that daddy at?
Daddy. Exactly.
With remove everything else. Remove it all. Where is the child's father? This is a 26-year-old adult, right? If the child father is absent, but that's a lot of expectations that we are hearing. A lot of entitlement we are hearing on the father and the grandfather for a 26-year-old adult. Y'all don't find that strange? Y'all don't think that's suspicious?
Assume that the father is the baby daddy is wherever the father was when the FWA daughter had to be raised by the grandparents. So wherever FWA baby daddy was when her kids got taken is probably where her daughter's baby daddy is. I don't know.
We
Three
can't assume,
kids already.
we can't assume that because in on her page she talks about how much she like and cares for the guy. So just because he's not there, we can't say that he doesn't want to be there. Dealing with a woman like that, maybe he can't be there. Let's just be fair. Maybe she doesn't want him around.
So he let his kids live in house roaches.
I can't
What?
never finish. I mean, this is getting absurd.
Go ahead, Drop. Go ahead, Drop. We listening.
Because the point that I was making is there are some women that say you can't see your children. And by her disposition, she would be that type of woman to me. So regardless of where the kids are, she's may not be giving him access. So we can't say he's a bad guy. We don't, I mean, he's not part of this situation.
They just had a baby shower for the baby that she's pregnant with.
He only dragged the mamas here.
He's somewhere. He close by.
No. That's why I wanted to make sure we specifically ask where the father is, because bottom line, it's nothing wrong with, and thank y'all for grabbing y'all daily heart meets. Again, if we can get 600 new people to just grab a daily heart meet. But nonetheless, the point that I am literally making is that the 26-year-old had a lot of expectations for her father and her grandfather, but yet we do not hear that she went and lived with mom. We don't even hear that she was staying with the child father. She said she had her house. The situation happened with the furnace. But even still, it's like there's no obligation here. They're not obligated to do anything for you. Even with them dealing with their own circumstances, they don't have to do shit. My legal responsibility is to make sure that you are good until you are 18, because I'm legally responsible for you. And then some people do have late birthdays, so until you graduate, technically. But after that, Anything else that her parents do for her is just a helping hand, but it is not an obligation. I do also want to respect that.
Good morning, Bella. I just want to say this. You look beautiful, by the way. You needed that week off to rejuvenate yourself. But anyway, where was the daddy? I don't know if all three of them have the same dad, the kids, or whatever. But you mean to tell me it wasn't one person besides? Because as soon as I would have walked in that house and saw all them roaches and it wasn't this and that, man, my kids would have turned back around and went out. I think it would have been safer to sleep in somewhere else or find somewhere, a tent or anything, because I don't know if y'all saw the little animal go by. Did anybody ever figure out what animal that was in the video?
A kitten.
Oh, it was a kitten. Okay, because I know they was debating that. But anyway, it was... I gotta watch my words here because I'll be blasted everywhere. I agree with Drop Queen, and I don't agree with Drop Queen much, but I do. Everything she has said is true. She has grown up in a situation like that, and I'm sad because then I see how come our kids end up being like their surroundings. And it's not, and them little kids that was there, like Drop Queen said, they were scared. They knew not to move because you didn't see them going nowhere. Once they sat down, that was it. But it was sad because she was angry. Her hormones is out of whack, and she was hurt. I guess because I don't know if y'all heard, but the dad on the video, when the dad came in at 3-something in the morning, he was drunk. And I guess somehow before he came in, he noticed the grill or whatever and started putting her stuff out then. And it's just sad that relationships like that. I wish I did have my dad with me. I wish I did, but he's gone now. But yeah, I agree with everything Drop Queen said.
Thank you, Silent Angel. Bella, they were asking me to ask you to tell everybody to tap the screen, please.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, we almost at 700K. Let's continue to engage in the likes. If we just take a moment, put the flour down. If you ready to start frying put the flour down. Put the rag down real quick. I know y'all putting down y'all counters. Put it down real quick. Come on over here to the screen. Let's run up the likes. If y'all are at church listening, just go ahead and drop in the audience, what is today's sermon? Because usually they'll tell y'all what the sermon is for the day. If y'all want to drop that in the audience, for those who might have missed church and need something, go ahead and drop that as well. But y'all are doing great. We are almost at 700K. Grab y'all a quick sip of water, tea, orange juice, apple juice, a glass of milk, whatever it is that they do be at church. I'm gonna keep it a being with you. I got a lot of people that do support this show, so they're not gonna miss church. They have one AirPod in and they be listening on past it, but then sometimes the people next to them might see them jump like, and they be like, "What's wrong?" She be like, "Oh,
Amen.
Then they be having to get themselves together. So hey, listen, we already know. Listen, I appreciate everybody that tuned in, regardless of where they are.
Tracy, can I mention the special day too, Bella?
You sure may.
That's what I was up here for, Drop.
Oh, thank you. Today is my birthday, y'all.
That's so good morning. Happy birthday.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Okay, happy birthday, Drop. Let me go ahead and expand you. Okay. Oh my gosh. So wait, so does it mean you just turned 50 or are you 51?
No, I'm 51 today. I'm 51 today.
Happy birthday.
You're a year younger than my mom. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, so happy birthday.
Love on you, girl.
She is a supporter of Accountability Court. Congratulations to you. Ironically, today is also the 2-year anniversary of Accountability Court as well. So.
Ooh,
And Bella,
Bella,
that's exactly what I was on top of. In addition to Drop Queen's birthday, I was going to say,